Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening, because I know it is evening in some places. How are you all doing? So let me just try and adjust this mic a little. How are we all doing? How is everyone? I trust we are all doing well. Let me just confirm that we are live. Sometimes this technology can be funny. Okay, all right. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. Okay. Um, we're live on LinkedIn. All right. We're live on LinkedIn. Good. And I believe we're live on YouTube. All right. Okay, so yes, today everything is working perfectly in unison. Welcome, welcome once again to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Please, as you join me, do let me know. Do let me know that you're here so that I can welcome you. Um, at least is the least I can do is to welcome you. And for those that will watch the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the effort that you put into ensure that you're following up on all that we are doing. It is always my pleasure to share this 1 hour with you. And I know it's not easy to devote 1 hour to anything. It's not. But you do devote 1 hour to join us live or to watch the replays. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So we've been on this specific journey talking about our habits, the habits that will lead us to have a productive year since basically the beginning of this year. We've tried to talk about different aspects of it. Um, we started off with a session on the science of habits, and that is starting strong. That's the okay. Let me put it this way: the theme for the first month that we ran with this productive habits that will give you a productive year. The first month, the general theme was starting strong, and the first session was on the science of habits. That's our first session in this whole series. Because see, this series is rounding up today. Yes, this series on productive habits is rounding up today. I can see that somebody is live on Facebook, but I can't see who that is. Please just do let me know who you are. Victory, I can see you on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. So the first session, and I always do a recap just to bring us up to speed on where we are so that you can flow somehow along with us, even if you missed some of the sessions. So that first session was on science of habits, how habits are formed. And we discussed how small, consistent actions, they lead us to, you know, this is what forms our deeds. This is what forms these habits that we are talking about. And we talked about the fact that the brain works on cues and it forms these habits from the cues that we receive. And then these cues lead to us to perform an action, which is the routine. And then that action leads to some kind of reward. And this is what the brain thrives on. This pattern is what the brain thrives on. And this is how we form habits. This is how we have all the good and the bad habits that we have. We have the cue. I gave the example of me drinking coffee. The cue that I wake up tired, maybe not so alert. That is the cue. And that is the cue that my system sends to me. The action that I take, the routine, is to go and get a cup of coffee. And the reward is that I feel, more alert, more awake. Let me even use that word, more awake. And so if I ever want to stop drinking coffee, I have to find something that still gives me that same reward. If not, it doesn't work. So this is how habits are formed. You have the cue, you have the routine, and then there is a reward. And the key takeaway from that session was that our brain does crave patterns. And if we can understand this, it will change the way we see a lot of things. It will help us um, form better habits. Actually, it will help us to break some bad habits also. And it will help us make these habits a lifestyle and not just something we do once in a while. Okay, so yeah, the key takeaway that the brain does crave pattern. And what you repeat, you would definitely reinforce. Because whatever you repeat is what the brain takes note of and thrives on, basically, keeps requesting for that thing that you repeat. Our next session, we talked about breaking bad habits because we all want to break some bad habits. We all know that there are some habits we have that are not the best and we want to break them. But in trying to tackle bad habits, we have to bear in mind that cue, routine, reward pattern. And truly, you can't break any habit. You have to replace the habit. If you just stop whatever, you say you're breaking the habit and just stop it, you don't replace it with something else. The brain needs that replacement. The brain needs to still get that reward that whatever the bad habit was given to you, and it will seek for how to get it. And generally, what it does is to fall back to what it knows. So you don't just break a bad habit, you have to replace it. So the key to breaking bad habits is figuring out the cues, the routine, and the reward. So you need to find a routine that gives you the same reward as that habit you're trying to break. Once you're not able to do that, you will always fall back to the old habit. This is how these things work. This is how our brain works. Okay, so the next session we talked about atomic habits in action. Those are tiny, consistent steps that we take. What does that actually bring to us? And we had Coach Ify for that session, and she walked us through micro changes. And it's these micro changes that compound into major growth. You don't have to tackle any massive habit. Start small and be consistent in that small, then you will begin to see the big changes. The key takeaway that from that session was small is powerful when it is consistent. So you have to be consistent. The next session, we talked about morning routines. Okay, we talked about morning routines in the next session. Kelechi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on Instagram. I can see you. You are welcome. Okay, the next session we talked about morning routines, and we said that morning routines, when you intentionally set up a morning routine, you can create emotional, spiritual, physical alignment. Because when you start off your day, however you set that pace, generally the rest of the day takes that tone. Generally, we're not saying that it's not possible to start off the day well and then something goes wrong. We're not saying that. But generally, when you start off your day right, the rest of the day follows suit. And we had Jennifer Michael talk to us that day about these morning routines. And the key takeaway from that session was that the way you start sets the tone for how you finish. And this is generally right. Honestly, I don't even know how else to put it. But most times, that is just how it is. Most times, that is just how it is. Our next Okay, but for them, we went into month two, and the general theme for month two was building discipline. Because yes, you want to form these habits, and maybe you have started these habits, but how do you sustain it? And to sustain it, you have to build discipline. It's discipline that helps you remain consistent, that keeps you focused. And our first session in that month was building consistency. And basically, why is it that showing up matters more than motivation? Because see, motivation can wane. Motivation goes up and down. It's just how it is. There's nothing we can do about it. That is how it is. But when we build in some discipline and we are consistent day after day, it trumps motivation any day, because we can achieve a whole lot more even when we are not motivated, even when motivation is at an all-time low, in our in our lives. So give me 1 minute, I need to check. I'm actually supposed to have a guest today, but we're having some conflict. Let me just send her a message. Just give me a minute. Okay. So, yeah, we're talking about building consistency. The takeaway from that session was motivation fades, definitely. But consistency is built by commitment. Commit to showing up. Commit to showing up every single day, and you will begin to see the changes. The next session was mindset habits, training your thoughts for long-term success. You see, and in this place, we looked at limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, and being able to renew your mind with truth. We shared about replacement strategies, replacing those limiting thoughts with the ones, thoughts that are uplifting, because we all have them. We all have these limiting thoughts. Nobody can claim that, we've never had a limiting thought. We all have them. But the point is to be able to replace them when they come in. You can't help what you think. You can't help the thoughts that pop into your head, but you can help whether you think them. That is the way I want to put it. You can, thoughts fly into your head all the time. But whether you now give it time and think on them and ponder on them and give them room is a whole different ballgame. So what you think drives what you do. So guard your mind, and then you will grow your life. Then we talked about time management habits, and that is mastering your schedule and your priorities. I think Coach Ify also handled that, and she talked about having a planning system in place, time blocking, eliminating distractions. These are things that will help you manage your time. But the key takeaway from that session that you don't manage time. You manage yourself within time. Because time is time. You can't, 24 hours is 24 hours. 3 hours is 3 hours. You work 8 hours a day, that is it. You can't change that too much. You can even say, okay, you can change from 8 hours to working 10 hours, but the 10 hours is still 10 hours. 10 hours does not become 20 hours. So you manage yourself within your time. Then month three, we talked about goal setting and habit alignment. And that is just how do you build habits that will help serve your vision? Because in month three, we try to concentrate on your habits aligning with your vision, not just okay, I thought somebody was calling me. Um, your habits aligning with your vision. That is actually how to sustain habits. When your habits align with your purpose, with your vision, you can sustain it more than if it's just, hanging in the air. And we explored how long-term vision should shape your short-term actions. So you have to truly have a long-term vision. Then your short-term actions will have to align to that long-term vision. The key takeaway from that session was that when your habits match your vision, your life becomes purpose-driven. Purpose-driven. Then session 110, we talked about evening routines. We had talked morning before. Now we looked at evening routines. And that session was for me because one thing that I have always struggled with is having consistent evening routines. I can start one, but I'm not consistent with it. So in that session, we talked about how to end your day well and set yourself up for success the next day. And we talked about purposeful evening routine that reduces stress, that improves sleep, that sets you up, of course, for success the next day. Because if you sleep well, definitely the next day you are more energized to do a lot, a lot. And we also looked at your we said that the evening routine doesn't have to be one great big thing. It can be 10 minutes, which is what I now adopted, to have a 10-minute routine that ends my day. A 10-minute routine in where I'm able to reflect, where I'm able to prepare for the next day, where I'm able to power down, to bring down everything, to allow my brain to be able to refresh itself, where I'm able to declutter and then wind down spiritually. 10 minutes, it is doable, it is possible. Review the past day, what happened in that day, what did I achieve, what didn't I achieve, why didn't I achieve them, and then wind yourself down. Is always good, because the days when I used to be, when I used to have evening routines that, like I said, was never consistent, I will find that when I do wind down, when I spend that few minutes, clearing my brain, because that is basically what you do with an evening routine. You declutter your brain and you give your brain the opportunity to wind down, to rest, to refresh, because that is what your brain does when you're sleeping. But when it's still full of so many things, then it cannot do that efficiently and effectively. Okay, so that is what we talked about in evening routines. Then our session last week was on the role of accountability in building habits. That is how to stay on track. What role does accountability play in our staying on track with our habits? And we agree that accountability is that bridge between our intentions and our follow through. When you have someone or a system that helps you stay on track, that helps you report your progress, the tendency is for you to remain on that track. We said accountability can be personal. You can actually be accountable to yourself. It can be to a peer. It can be to like a professional, a mentor, a coach, but do have the accountability. Do have it. Do have a system in place that helps you stay consistent. Do have a system in place that has, check-ins. And the check-in should be structured, scheduled, not, I'll check in when I'm ready. No, you check in every 2 weeks, you check in every week, whatever. Let it be a structured accountability system. These are the things that will help you. So that way you don't just set goals. You share the goals and then you track them and you're able to review them with someone that helps you to grow. These are the things that we discussed that last week. And we agreed, or we came to a conclusion that alone you can be inspired. Yes, you can. But together, when you have an accountability system, you stay consistent. See, inspiration is not enough. You have to be consistent. There has to be something that's firing you to continue. So that is what accountability does for you. Okay, so those were the sessions we have had thus far. Today, our topic today is sustaining momentum. That is turning habits into a lifestyle so that your habits is not just a New Year's resolution, but more than that. Okay, that is what today's session is about. We're supposed to have a guest today, but she is in a meeting and has not been able to get a way to join us. That's why I'm checking to see if there's a message from her. Um, okay. Um, okay, she's not yet. Um, I think I will go on with the session. If she still joins me, then we'll continue. She will take off from where she meets me, but I will start the session so that I don't just keep us waiting here. Just want to make sure she didn't send me a message and I missed it. Okay, so today we are talking about sustaining momentum. Like I said, this is the last session in this series. From next week, we're going to have a question and answer session. So please get your questions ready if you have had any questions whatsoever on all the things we have discussed in this period. We have had a lot of topics, all of them talking about habits that will help you have a productive year. So if you have any session, any questions, okay. Okay, she just sent me a message that she's not able to open the link I sent to her. I'm surprised. Okay. Like I always say, technology. Let me try and send her another link. Um, okay, let me try another one. Okay, let's see if this works so that she can come up. Okay, okay. All right, it's connecting. Once I see, okay, maybe I can just quickly read her profile while waiting for her to connect. Okay, this person, honestly, is my own mentor. When we talked about accountability last week, um, no, the previous, okay, it was last week, yes. This is my own mentor. She's the one that held me accountable for years. For years, a lot of what I've been able to achieve is because of her. So, our guest today is Pastor Favor Osiri Wisdom. She's an encourager, a mother, family life coach. She's the co-pastor of the Compass Assembly, a vibrant church in the city of Port Harcourt. So please, if you're looking for a church, consider the Compass Assembly. It's truly a vibrant church. Okay. So she's a graduate of marketing with 2 postgraduate diplomas in education and journalism, certified conflict resolution and negotiation expert from the United States Institute for Peace. She's a certified marriage coach and co-founded and coordinates the Wisdom Driven Marriage Academy, which focuses on helping people to build the marriage of their dreams. Favor served in a private Christian university for 6 years as the associate chaplain of the university and co-instructor of the Total Leadership training concept, a program crafted to raise the students as global leaders. While at the university, she co-facilitated a reformation program for erring students for 6 years. She currently heads the Family Life Directorate in her local assembly. Um, in fact, this is just a lot. She's the convener of Nigeria's premium mother-daughter event called the Mother-Daughter Ball. If you have not been to the next one is coming up, so please be part of it. She's also the founder of the Model Woman Foundation, a Facebook community. In fact, it's more than a Facebook community. There is an inner circle now of the Model Women Foundation. So welcome with me. She's an author of many books. Pastor Favor Siri Wisdom. Welcome, Ma. Oh, I took you away from your meeting. I apologize, Ma.
Looking for network everywhere.
I can't hear you, Ma. Or is it from my end? Okay, it's from my end. Okay. All right. Welcome, Ma.
I said I'm looking for network everywhere.
Oh, sorry. My
Can you
apologies.
hear me?
I can hear you. Even though it has frozen. Yeah, I can see that the network is really giving you a tough time. You're frozen right now, so it's not showing anything. I hope that you can get good network somewhere so that we can continue. Okay, I think our network has gone off. Yeah, I think our network has gone off completely. Let's hold on for her to come back. So, like I said, our topic today is sustaining momentum. And I said it's the last in this series. Okay, her network has gone off completely. It's the last in this series we have been doing. We have talked about different aspects of forming a habit and being able to maintain that habit to an extent. So today we are concluding with how to sustain the momentum that you have gathered. Because if you have been following us every week, by now you should have gathered more than enough momentum. By now you should have started some new habits. You should have broken some old ones and you should have gotten started, but you need to keep going. You need to be able to move it from just here, point A. Oh, okay. Coach Ify, I can see you on Instagram. Oh, yes. Just let me just add now while we're here. After this session, I will be on Coach Ify's platform for a session. So please connect there also. Welcome. I can see you. Yes, but her network has knocked her off, so she's gone. Hopefully, she will be back very soon. I'm also checking on WhatsApp if she sent me a message. So momentum is very important, as I was saying. Our topic today, of course, is sustaining momentum. Momentum is very important for growth. If you don't have momentum, you can't keep going. I think it was John Maxwell that said that motivation gets you started, but momentum keeps you going. And momentum is, fired on by consistency, by showing up, by being there. Many people start strong. Starting strong is not even our problem most times as people, as human beings generally. Many of us start off strong. Many of us, hit the ground running like in January. We hit the ground running. But I don't even want to say June, by March, many of us begin to fizzle out. By June, a lot of us have given up. When we are doing our half year review, many of us are just not there. We've lost whatever momentum we had. We've stopped doing whatever it is we were doing. And it all started with one day, okay, I missed today, no problem. Tomorrow I miss again. Okay. She's sending me a message. Let me just see, and before you know it, we have ended the whole thing. And that's because most of our habits are powered by emotion. I can't see you anymore, ma. Okay, she says she's still there. I can't see you. I'm not able to see her. She says she's still there. Um, I don't know what happened. Okay, so like I said, most of us, our habits are powered by emotions, and that is why they're not sustainable. You have to power, or your habits have to be fueled by systems. That's the only way that they can be sustained. That's the only way that you can sustain the momentum of, it's not you can't rely on your emotions. Emotions, the emotion powered habits don't last because our emotions fluctuate. But when your habits are based on a system, when they are fueled by vision, fueled by your identity, they are more sustainable. Okay. All right. I can see her. She's back. Okay. Yes, she's back. Welcome once again, man.
Everywhere.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Is it a little bit clear? Can you see me?
I can see you, even though it just froze just now. But okay, it's back. I can see you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I
Yeah, so
think we can do this.
yes.
The devil cannot
At
stop
all.
us.
We refuse.
Yes, so we refuse. Oh. Okay, so I'm ready. If you are ready, welcome Facebook. Welcome from any part of the world where you are joining us. Because I know for those of you who are joining us now, and for those of you who will watch the replay, so I'd like you to listen to the conversation we're having. But before we even continue, I want to actually appreciate Model Ngozi. See, I know they say I'm a mentor, but it's like you have to come and mentor me again. And, you know, even everywhere, I'm just super proud of you. I'm happy with what God is doing. And then I'm not surprised that you're doing this. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. Yes.
Thank you, ma.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Yes, go ahead, ma. Hello, ma. Okay, how are you doing?
Okay. Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you
hear
now.
me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I hear you now. I can hear you. Let me see if I can switch my network. The thing is
Okay. Yes, but it's breaking. Mm, network is really misbehaving today. It's really misbehaving today, but we shall overcome. Yeah, the sound is breaking. I can see that. Um, she will try, and she said let her change her network. Um, those of us in Nigeria, we understand. We understand this is what we go through. Sometimes you have to. I remember some days I would have um, three, yeah, three different, hmm, sorry, I would have three different modems in order to do these live sessions. Three different modems. I would have my MTN, I would have Smile, and I would have Airtel. Once one is giving problem, I switch to the other one. So I understand. I understand completely where she's coming from. Sometimes it's just like that. Um, but no, we pray that things get better in our country. Okay, so I was just trying to give us a brief idea of what this session is about, and we were talking about the fact that you have to have systems for your habits to become sustained, for you to sustain the momentum that you have built up. If it's just based on the emotions of um, I'm doing this, or it will fizzle out along the line. Our emotions are fickle. Yeah, Nigeria for you. I hate saying such things, but this is what we have, as they say. There's nothing we can do about that right now. So I want to believe that she will get a stronger network and she will connect back. So when you've been hearing me momentum, what is this momentum really? What does it actually mean? And the basic definition of momentum is a force or a speed gained by a series of progressive actions. So the speed gained by actions that you take, that is the momentum. That is what momentum is, which means that if you're not taking action, there is no momentum. Okay, so then a habit, we said, is a repeated action or a system that becomes automatic. You just do it, it becomes aligned with who you are, not just what you want. Now, this is not just a habit now. The one that has become aligned to who you are is a lifestyle habit. It's a habit that has become part of you. It's no longer just, a habit you have to struggle to do or anything like that. It is a part of you. It has become a lifestyle habit because it is aligned to your vision, to your purpose, aligned to who you are. Then a sustainable habit is a habit that is realistic, a habit that is tied to your internal motivation, tied to your purpose, your vision, and not just to external rewards. These ones are the ones that are sustainable. That's the habits we want to form in this year. That's the habits we want to have this year. Those habits that are realistic, they're also flexible. These habits are not cast in stone. They're realistic. They're also flexible. And they are tied to our internal motivation. They are tied to our vision. They are tied to our purpose. Okay, she's back. Let's see if this particular network is better. I can't see you, Ma. Um, I can't see anything. I can't hear anything, Ma. If you can hear me. Okay. Let me continue until we can get a better connection with her. So, like I said, the habits we want to form this period, the habits we want to have are those ones that are sustainable, those habits that are realistic. Many times the aspect of realistic is where we miss it. But it's essential that the habits we are setting for ourselves, the goals we are setting are realistic. So they need to be realistic. They need to be flexible because nothing is cast in stone, remember. And they have to be tied to our internal motivation, our purpose, our vision. Okay, she's gone again. All right, so it's essential that we have those three aspects of the habits that we are forming in this year. That is what is going to keep them. That is what's going to make them part of us. That's what's going to make them sustainable. That is what is going to sustain the momentum that we are building. If our habits are not tied to our purpose, to our vision, most times they fizzle out. So ensure that they are tied. Um, I heard that there was a research that was done. I can't even remember when now, but it was in Stanford University. And it says that habits that stick are small, emotionally rewarding, and tied to a person's identity. This is what that research found. The habits that stick, the ones that become sustainable, are the ones that are small, they're emotionally rewarding, and they are tied to a person's identity. You see that the part of tying our habits to identity is very important, is very key, is essential. I think there was another research I saw. Okay, yes, this one was in 2022 from Harvard Business Review, and they said that sustained behavioral change occurs when habits are embedded into daily rhythms and supported by environmental cues and social accountability. You see that these are the things we have discussed all this while. From the first session, you can see that it is actually this finding encompasses all that we have been talking about. Sustained behavioral change occurs when habits are embedded into daily rhythms and supported by environmental cues and social accountability. So for us to really have sustained habits, to sustain the momentum, it has to be embedded in our daily life. It has to be embedded in our vision, in our purpose. When our habits are attached to those things, they're easier also for us to keep doing. We talk about our big why. What is your why? Your habits need to align to that why. If they don't, they are more difficult to sustain. They're more difficult to sustain. Now, what are some of the common reasons why momentum fails? Why momentum doesn't carry through? One is overcommitment. We're trying to do too much at once. Most of us, including me, one particular year, I think I had like 13 targets or so. Okay, give me a minute. She's sending me a message. I like 13 targets or so that I wanted to achieve in 1 year. Tell me, even if I'm a machine. But I didn't see it that way. I looked at that, I have a lot of things I want to achieve. I can do it. I am this, I am, how we hype ourselves. And halfway, we find that we can't do it. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, she's saying is network, obviously, because she's in the office right now. As I said, she had a meeting. So maybe it's the network in the office area. Um, okay, she wants to know if we can restructure for evening. Hmm. I don't know if that will work for me now, but we'll look at it. I'll let us know if we'll restructure her particular input for evening. Um, Evening doesn't work well for me here because that is afternoon for me here and very busy most times in the afternoon. And my afternoon is not always under my control. But for me, it's this morning for me now where I am. So this morning I have control of my time. I can just do all the things I want to do. But let me go on and finish what I have for us, and we will see if we will reschedule Pastor Favor. No longer audible on Facebook. Really? Um, I don't know what happened on Facebook. Interesting. Can you hear me on Facebook now? Please do let me know if I am audible on Facebook. Let me check. Am I audible on Facebook? Can you hear me? Please do let me know if you can hear me on Facebook. Okay, yeah, I can hear myself on Facebook. So um, please check your network if you're not able to hear me, but I can hear myself. Okay, she has come back. Let's see if we can finally get this going. Hello, ma'am. The network is still fluctuating. Yeah, my network is still a bit sketchy. It's still a bit sketchy. So let me go on while we see if our network can improve. So I was talking about some of the common reasons why momentum fails us. Overcommitment, trying to do too much at once. Just start small. You can scale later. You can always, increase later, but start small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Um, Another thing is perfectionism. We want to do it perfect or not at all. See, this was one of my issues. And at the initial stages of growth habits, I didn't want to start because I felt in everything had to be okay. I need to have a camera, I need to have microphone, I need to have everything in place. But if I had waited, I wouldn't have started. So focus on progress. Start and focus on progress. Don't let perfectionism deny you of the things that you can achieve. If I had waited until everything was perfect, if I had waited until I started without a microphone, any kind of microphone, even the lapel one. I didn't have any microphone. I used my phone. I set it up in front of me, and I began to go with growth habits. And I just kept going until I was able to get a microphone, the lapel one. And see, now I even have a big one now. I also have my lapel microphone is in this case here. So I mean, what are we talking about? Don't allow perfectionism. Don't feel like until I can do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. Start and then prioritize progress over perfectionism. It must not be all perfect. Let there be progress. As long as there's progress in that action, in that activity, keep going. Then I think this is one of the biggest reasons why momentum fails us that we don't have any system. There is no system, no system whatsoever. You're just relying on your willpower. Doesn't always work. Have a system in place. Build queues. Have trackers. Have routines. Have a system in place. No, I've talked about trackers and accountability several, but these things are so important. In the early days of growth habits, it was something I was doing daily as a challenge from the inner circle with Pastor Favor. And the fact that I had to report that I did not do anything today kept me going then. But in time, I had built a system. I prepare my programs in advance. So I already have like the next 3 months um, sessions ready most times. This time around, this is the only time now because this is the last session now. I've not prepared the next month session, and it's for a reason. Um, I can't see you. I can't see you. I really don't know what is happening. I've it's showing her that she's still in the session, but I can't see her in the back room. Sure, that's what is. Okay. Oh, okay. You can see me. Interesting. Okay. We will reschedule her session for another time. I will, like I was trying to say that I've not done my next month's program, which is unlike me because um the month of July for me has some, I don't know how to say, but there are some uncertainties about where I will be. So because of that, I've not been able to do my my program for the next 3 months. So because I have a system in place whereby I prepare in advance, usually, um, even if they're going to be guests, they're already scheduled and all that. So I can't not show up. You understand? I have a system in place. I already have the program prepared. It's written down somewhere. The sessions, I've even done research on a lot of the sessions ahead of time. So once you don't have a system, the tendency is that the momentum will, and you will begin to slow down on your habits. So build cues, build systems, have trackers, have your routine, and then have accountability. This is another thing that makes us lose momentum. We're not accountable to anyone. No one knows, so no pressure. Have an accountability system. Remember, you can be your own accountability system. You actually can. You can set it up like on your phone, and all that. It is very possible you can have your own accountability, but I always prefer to have an external accountability system. Have someone that can help you, keep stay on track. It doesn't have to be a professional, but professional is good. It doesn't have to be a coach, it doesn't have to be a mentor. You can have a friend. If that friend will tell you the truth, you know, if that friend will tell you the truth. Sometimes, we have people who are accountability, but they don't tell us the truth. That is not accountability. The person has to be someone that tells you the truth, how it is. Okay, so, and another thing that can derail our momentum is that our habits don't align, with our true goals. They don't align with our vision. We have to um, ensure that our habits align with our vision, with our purpose. I can't tell you how to do that, honestly. This is one of the things that somebody cannot teach you. You need to know what is your true vision, what is your true purpose, what are you truly trying to become. Then your habits have to align with that. The habits you're trying to build must align with that your true purpose. That is one of the reasons why I'm truly trying to work on having an evening routine. Because I see that it aligns because the times that I have had an evening time to wind down before I finally sleep, I wake up refreshed and ready to. But when I don't do that, I wake up with my brain overstimulated. I wake up and my brain is, yeah, active, but not in a good way. My brain is working. What's the word now? It's working, but it's not working how I want it to work. I don't know if that makes sense to you. And that is because I didn't give it the opportunity throughout the night to rest, to declutter, to work on itself, um, English. English is failing me. So I didn't give the brain the opportunity to be restored, to heal itself. So in the morning, the brain is still working. It will work throughout the night. It's still working in the morning, but it's not working at its most efficient level. So to build an evening routine for me aligns with my vision. It aligns with my purpose because I need that clarity in the morning to do the things that I have to do. So definitely an evening routine is the routine I need to build. But even the morning routine for me also is a habit I need to inculcate completely. I am better at the morning routine than the evening. So you see that it will be easier for me now. It will be easier for me to build an evening routine now that I have seen how it aligns to my purpose, how it aligns to my vision, how it aligns to the life that I want to have. If I have not made that connection, I wouldn't even see the need for an evening routine. And even if I start an evening routine, maybe that's why all this while I've not been able to sustain that evening routine because it has just been a routine. It has never been attached to my purpose, to my vision. We can see that it is essential to have your habits aligned to your vision, aligned to your purpose, aligned to the life that you're trying to have. And when you really get this part sorted, you can get rid of some habits that don't align. Because it's not every habit, it's not every habit that aligns to your own purpose, to your own vision. And it is essential that it aligns to your own purpose, not mine. You can't take my habits and apply them to your own life. We are not going the same place. There is no way we are going to the same place. We may be heading in the same direction, but we're not going to the same place. So let your habits align to your purpose, to your vision. It will help you sustain them. It will help you build the momentum and maintain the momentum needed for that habit. So, some of the things that we can do that will help us in sustaining this these habits we're talking about. Of course, one is to align them to our purpose. Another thing that we can do is to make these habits easy and automatic by habit stacking. For example, you want to have a habit of praying, for example, at either in the morning or whenever, and you dress your bed every morning. This is if you dress your bed every morning. If you don't dress your bed every morning, this will not work for you. But you're someone that dresses your bed every morning. So you would stack the habit of praying to the habit of making your bed. Yes, you will definitely make your bed every morning is a given. For you, it is you must do it. Attach this habit you're trying to form to it. That way, once you finish making your bed, you know the next thing is habit stacking. Or use visual cues. This is what works for me. Visual cues. For example, you have your journal by your pillow or something. Once I see the journal, I know it's time to write. Um, yeah, have these things that will remind you of that habit you're trying to form. Have them around. Visual cues, they help. Review and recommit. Um, like I said, don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. Review and recommit. These are the things that will help you maintain this momentum we're talking about. Review and recommit. Ask yourself every week, every day, even. That is why the evening routine for me would work. Every evening, I ask what worked. All these things that all these 1,001 things that I tried, which one? Why did it work? Which one didn't work? Why didn't it work? What next? Having this review and then recommitting to the ones that worked and taking the lessons from the ones that didn't work. Now, you see, the danger of the one that didn't work is that we can get stuck there. Do not get stuck on the fact that it didn't work. The reason you're doing the review is to grab the lessons from it. What are the things that didn't work? Why didn't they work? Take the lessons and then move on. Okay, I think I think this we can call it a day right here because I'm looking at the time and the time is fast spent. So, what are the basic takeaways from this session today of sustaining momentum? One, don't have 1,001 habits, first of all. Have that, no, you can have a few habits, but you should always have one that you do no matter what. Ensure that this habit aligns, ensure it aligns with your purpose. That is the way to definitely have it be sustained. Ensure that it aligns to your purpose. Ensure that it aligns to your vision. Track it. Track this habit. Be flexible. Don't have any um, cast in stone issues about it. Be flexible, but track the habit. Track the habit. Make make space for the resets. They will happen. Momentum is um, not sustained by perfection. It is not. Momentum is sustained and regained by recommitment. Is your ability to reset and recommit that build momentum. It's not that you did it perfect the first time. No. And please, once again, I'm repeating this again. Ensure that your habits, these habits you're trying to form, ensure that they align to your vision. I think this is the biggest builder of momentum. Because even when you want to like falter, you remember your vision. And once you call to mind your vision, the habits that sustain it have to be carried out. So ensure that your habits are tied to your vision. Remind yourself every time, as much as you can, as often as you can, what that vision is, where you're truly heading to, where you're truly going. So I believe that with this, um, we should be able to sustain the momentum that we have gained over these past 3 months, discussing our habits, looking at the science of habits, how to break the habits, and all the things that we have talked about. With this um, last, being able to ensure that your habits align to your vision, it will help you truly to maintain that momentum, to sustain that momentum. Please remember, this is not motivational. We're not talking about motivation. We're talking about alignment. We're talking about having structure. We're talking about your purpose. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? These are the things that will help you sustain the habits that will carry you for a lifetime. But remember, we're talking about lifestyle habits, habits that are sustainable over your life, not just for this 1 year, but over the years. So it's not just to start strong. Nobody's that's not our goal. Our goal is not to start strong. Our goal is to keep showing up long enough to finish strong and to finish well. Thank you all once again for joining me on Good Habits today. Remember to make today and every day count, to be valuable and grow. Ensure you're always growing. Follow us on all our social media handles. I hope you got something from this session today. I hope, oh, okay. Um, Coach Fifi says, I believe also that it is important to know what you don't need. The lighter you are, okay, it's important to know what you don't need. Okay. The lighter you are, the faster you move. Yes. It's like I said, it's not every habit you must undertake. It's not every one. You need to know which ones, yeah, you need to take off. Remember I said it's not to have a multitude of habits. Pick one or two. Don't, load yourself with 15 things you're trying to achieve. No. 15 habits you're trying to inculcate. It's not necessary. One or two is good. Start with that. Grow. You can scale as you move on. You can add on to, you can improve on the ones you have, but start small. Yes. Coach, if you're very correct. Victory said, "Oh, you tried the bed dressing on." I mean, if that is what if it's a habit, you know that some people don't dress their bed every morning, So don't go attaching don't go stacking any habit to bed dressing if you don't do it every morning. But if you know you're someone that dresses your bed every morning, the new habit you're trying to form, stack it on that, and it will help you sustain that habit. Kelechi, thank you for joining me. I'm glad you are here. Okay. Okay, Comfort on Facebook says I'm more active in the evening than in the morning, and it's been a struggle for me trying to build a morning routine. Thank God for accountability. Yes, these are the things we do need to have someone to hold us accountable. She said, okay, she's more active in the evening. I'm more active in the morning. So it's been a struggle for me to build an evening routine. You can see that's why you can't really copy off of anybody. You need to discover your own. You need to discover your own. And when you find okay, comfort, if you can find how a morning routine helps you in achieving your vision, your purpose, the purpose for your life, you will find that it's easier to build a morning routine. Just like the example I gave, that all this while I struggled with an evening routine. But recently, I came to see the benefit of that evening routine for my purpose, for the person I'm trying to become. That is why it's been easier. I actually have to say this has been easier for me recently to have an evening routine, even with all the moving parts in my evening. So find how this habit you're trying to build relates to your purpose. Find a way that it helps in your fulfilling your purpose, your vision, the person you're trying to become, and you will see that it becomes easier. It's not that it is easy; it just becomes easier for you to build that habit and to sustain momentum on it. Okay. Is there any other message anywhere else? Let me just go around quickly and see if there's any message any other place. Mhm. Okay. There is no other message. Okay. Okay, Victory. Please let me know how it goes. You said you do it. Okay, you do it. You do make your bed every day. So let me know the habit you're stacking on it and how it goes. I'm waiting to hear that from you. I'm very, very interested in hearing the habits you stacked onto your making of your bed and how it goes. Comfort, I hope I helped you with the comments that I made about building a morning routine. Okay, thank you all once again for joining me. As I said, right after in the next barely 1 hour, I will be live on Coach Ife's platform. Yes, I'll be live on Coach Ife's platform in the next about an hour. Yeah, that is 2 p.m. Nigerian time. 2 p.m. Nigerian time. I'll be live on Coach Ife's platform. And we'll be talking about, interesting enough, how simple, consistent habits shape long term transformation. You can see that it even aligns almost perfectly with what we talked about today. Her theme for I guess for this period is sustainable momentum. I mean, see how it aligned. When I was looking at my notes that I had written down for that session today, and had to compare it to the notes for my own session. Even though I knew I was supposed to have a guest, I still, always do a little research also. So I was trying to look at the two, and I saw so many things in common. It's almost like we discussed and decided to have the same topic on the same on the same day. So I will be live on Coach Ife's platform, Balanced Living Consult, on Facebook and Instagram in the next, okay, it's now 50 minutes, in the next 15 minutes. So see you there. Yes, see you there in the next 50 minutes. And do have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. All right. Bye. We will see how to reschedule for Pastor Favor to still. Maybe we'll do it next week because next week was supposed to be question and answer. Is the evening part. I don't know how to work out, but we shall see. Maybe I'll do a 6 p.m., which is 12 noon where I am. At least that wouldn't be lunchtime and I have to be running around to do lunch. Okay, we'll see how we'll work it out. We'll do next week, 6 p.m. her time, which is 12 noon my time. I think that's what we'll do so that that session will still hold next week. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. See you all next week, Tuesday, right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. I will confirm the time. Bye.